All right, what's up, motherfuckers? How you doing?
Up? What's up, TJ?
How you motherfuckers doing? 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 Doing. That's about as much as I can kill with that. Is it over? 21 seconds. Okay.
It's not over, dude.
Not even close.
Why would it be over? Got somewhere to be, TJ?
Yeah, on my couch.
What? Just doom scrolling through shows and movies you'll never watch.
Yeah.
I've got a Fakeinator waiting for me tonight, dude.
Oh, you got another Fakeinator ready?
Yeah, Amelia's making the Fakeinator again.
Nice.
So I'm pretty stoked about that. You guys ever just like unleash a really fucking epic rant and it like afterwards it feels like you just took 3 shits in a row? Like it's
I mean, I should have just pushed that. I should have just had that at the end, but I don't know. I really wanted to get to it. I wanted to be like, man, I don't want to not make this goal.
You had no faith in the people, TJ. Your biggest.
I guess I should have.
Your biggest.
I mean, I knew as soon as it was like let's be honest with you, like as much as I talk shit about us never covering Vosh again, it's a gold mine, dude. Vosh is a gold mine. It's endless,
especially when it's something like that.
I mean, I understand that, like, to get it all out of your system, kind of. I mean, like, if you know me, you know it's never really out of my system ever, but to a certain extent, I feel okay with it right now, you know? Like, I feel like I said what I needed to say.
It'll be probably a hot minute before we do it again, unless he says something really crazy.
I mean, he's been on a fucking tear lately. I don't even think it needs to be really crazy. I just want to document the shit. Because I forgot one. I wish I would have brought it up on the show. He hates hippies, just like Rush.
Yeah.
These long-haired hippies.
For sure.
It's another
these long-haired hippies.
Indistinguishable fucking position from a right-wing pundit. Paul's anger is understandable. I mean, I watched TJ, you made a video on your channel and it got thrown in my recommendations where you talked about Vosh and Demon Mama and me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things you said actually resonated with me. I don't think I ever would have said it myself because I think, not that I think it came off as bad, but I think if I had the thought, I wouldn't say it because I feel like it, you know, coming out of me, it might be a little cringy, but you were like, you know, I see a lot of myself in Vosh and I kind of feel like, you know, I want to lead him in the right direction and stuff like that. And I definitely feel that way about the dude. Like, I don't like him. I really don't. I think he's a personality clash with me is pretty rough.
Well, maybe that's like he's a Beverly Hills rich kid.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people who grew up in Beverly Hills that would probably be pretty chill.
Yeah, but he's very much a product of his environment, though.
Yes, he is. As much as people like to poo-poo my use of it as an attack on him, I really do think there's something about it. You know, one of the things, and it's hard for me to even explain this to people, but one of the ways that I knew that Vosh was a rich kid is, all right, I grew up in Cali. You guys know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
California has a huge migrant population, like Hispanic, Mexican, Central American, South American population, right?
Yeah, of course.
Vosh was in an argument. I was watching some clip, and he was in an argument with somebody about the meaning of language. And he said something like, you know, language is, I guess, I don't even know what the debate was about, but he was like, well, water isn't water, though. If you go down to Mexico, it's aqua. And I was like, it's aqua? I was like, wait a minute, this dude fucking grew up in California and he doesn't know it's agua?
Yeah,
he's gone his whole life thinking the Mexican, like aqua, I believe is the Latin word for water, not Mexican. But I was just like, you know, I could see that out of somebody that's like from Wisconsin or like Maine or something, you know. But how did a dude grow up in California and not hear the word agua used a bunch of fucking times? And the answer to that question is he lived in a place where Mexicans aren't allowed to go. They've got a pretty fucking strict no Mexican policy over there in fucking Beverly Hills. He grew up in like an enclave, you know. He was really insulated, and you can tell in a lot of his arguments and stuff. They have the smell of an argument made just out of ignorance of reality because a person's never experienced this, that, or the other thing. It's like when I feel the same way about Demon Mama a lot of the time. I feel like, you know, her saying that Trump was George W. Bush but worse is just like, that's just like being young and not really having looked into it before, but got such a confident take about it. You know, it's like, oh, confidently wrong.
The best way to be. If you're gonna be wrong, at least be confidently wrong.
That's true about Beverly Hills, dude. Of course it is. I know, like, look, I may not know a lot of things. I may not be able to speak with authority on a lot of things, but California is one of those things. I've lived here my whole fucking life. I know California. There's no bad part of Beverly Hills. It's one of the most expensive zip codes in the United States. There's nobody has a dad that works in the movie industry and has to worry about money. You know what I mean? Like, that's, unless he's maybe like a janitor at one of the places. But my understanding, Vosh's dad was like an animator or a visual effects artist or something like that.
Yeah, Vosh's I don't know what his dad does, but I don't think he was a best boy or like a key.
No, he wasn't like a key. I mean, a key grip makes fucking bank, dude. If you're on a movie, if you're like in the credits of a film,
the median value, but this is between 2018 and 2022, the median value of an owner-occupied housing units is $2 million plus. Beverly Hills. So that's
do you
the
speak
average.
Mexican? Mexican is not a language.
You're talking about
Mexicans speak. Yeah, they speak Spanish.
They're making fun of you because you said something kind of like,
so
that's not
Beverly
the
Hills
Mexican word for it.
As of now,
what did I say? What did I say?
Is 7.1%.
Agua?
It sounded a little bit like you were saying that Mexican was the language, but it really, I mean, it would have just taken like 2 seconds of brain power to fucking just be like, oh yeah, well, I
didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious he didn't. But that person's just trying to do a little
gotcha.
Like, oh yeah, well, Paul thinks Mexican's a language.
It's pretty brave after the edict I laid down towards the end of the show there.
If TJ is Vosh's YouTube dad, Paul is like an uncle. Dude, Vosh has had so many of my same takes and shit. I mean, dude, Vosh is just in that era of his career where I was doing shit like fuck handicapped spaces, fuck firemen, fuck Buddhists, fuck bicyclists. It's just like he's just looking to piss people off at this point. He's mad at the world and he wants to fucking just like tear everything down with his words. And it just leads to shit that's incendiary and interesting, but also really dumb. So he's just in that era.
I mean, that shit tonight was real dumb. Like, I was actually shocked by that.
I mean, it was just like, why would you take the thing that you know is one of the biggest fucking criticisms of you that you've constantly denied for years and years and just be like, yes.
And lean into it.
That's exactly what I'm doing. And just act like don't even treat it like it's a big revelation or something. Just be like, yeah, of course, my dude. Do not support socialist organizations, support liberal organizations because they're more effective. It's like, did he just say the quiet part loud?
Yep.
I don't know, man. Whatever.
I looked into this, and there actually are surprisingly a couple of. There's some poor people that actually do live in Beverly Hills, but it's pretty unique. The person that they describe in this article, Times reporters Emily Alfred Reyes and Martha Groves explored the unlikely place in Beverly Hills where some of the city's poorest citizens live, and nowhere is that more obvious than the apartment above the Whole Foods. The building is indeed the only housing in Beverly Hills subsidized by the U.S. Department of Housing.
I mean, every goddamn city has subsidized fucking Section 8. It has to, by law, have Section 8 housing.
So, like, yeah, so, like, there is,
Vosh
like,
grew up.
So yeah, so unless Vosh is
saying he grew up there.
Yeah, unless he grew up in a fucking little storage room that above a fucking gas station or whatever the fuck.
It's
I don't
above
want
a
to
Whole
hear it.
Foods. Yeah, it's an apartment. It's an apartment above a Whole Foods. I'm sure it's decent or whatever.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's a law. Every goddamn municipality has to have a certain percentage of its housing be low income.
But the
Section
vast
8
majority
housing.
of people in Beverly Hills, as of now, it says they make about $661,000
Yeah, they're rich.
a year,
They're
and the
rich.
poorest being less than 14. So are there some handful of poor people live in Beverly Hills? Yes.
There's poor people everywhere.
So it is possible to be poor and live in Beverly Hills, but it's not, obviously it's a very small number of people, and they basically live in subsidized housing.
Yeah, and well, he's described it as he grew up in the ghetto of Beverly Hills or whatever, and that doesn't exist. Like the apartment you were just talking about is above a fucking Whole Foods, for Christ's sake.
I mean, it's not, I don't think it's
There's no fucking ghetto, dude.
Maybe it's a dump compared to the mansions around there, but I mean, it's not, it's not the worst place you've ever been.
But I don't know, dude. I do have a bad fucking case of the VDS, but I feel like I feel personally vindicated over the last couple of months because I feel like Vosh has had like a pretty fucking rapid fire mask off kind of time where his manager finances better quip, and then the fucking drug quip, and the anti-hippie shit, and the pro-Houthi shit, and now this like don't waste your time supporting socialist shit. I mean, it's pretty fucking like dead on as to what I was calling 3 years ago when everybody was fucking making fun of me and shit for having VDS. So I'd say that's a pretty fucking strong vindication, but I'd rather it wasn't so, I'd rather Vosh be an effective leftist and steer some young people to activism and whatnot, but it doesn't look like it's going to go that route. I mean, dude, being a stoner and taking Adderall for ADHD or whatever mental problem he might have is not the same thing, guys. Quit doing it. Yes, he's taking a drug or whatever, but there's a difference between using a drug recreationally and using it because you have a fucking problem that has to be addressed.
Yeah, you have a health condition, you take a drug. It's not
like they're not conflated. They're not conflated.
Yeah, unless there's no efficacy.
I don't think they're like that far apart, honestly. Like, because I mean, for a lot of people, weed is just like, I smoke weed because.
Well, if he's self-medicating with it and buying it on the black market, that's different. But if he's, like, I don't know, But
I know a lot of people use weed to manage stress and such and such.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I self-medicate with weed. Weed is one of the only things that helps with my depression, my anxiety, and shit. I've tried to go off of weed, and it is not a good thing for me.
Right. So I mean,
not like just like past. I'm talking about past the withdrawal phase. It's not
right.
My mental health. My mental health is not good if I don't have something, and weed is the only thing I've found that takes the edge off of it sometimes. And so, yeah, I self-medicate with that shit.
Right. So I mean,
but I'm not the one saying that all people that use drugs habitually or whatever are untrustworthy. That's what stupid.
I just don't understand it coming from someone who is a habitual. I mean, I get it's prescribed.
Right. I mean, he does. He says he's social alcohol user. That's habitual. You know what I mean? If you a couple of times a month drink, you're a habitual drinker. You know what I mean? You have a habit of drinking 2 drinks a month. That's habitual.
If you have severe ADHD and you take Adderall every day, you are dependent on that drug. You're not using it recreationally, but a lot of people that take those drugs, they need them to function better. It's not that you can't function at all.
There's a clear distinction, but it's why the argument falls apart. It's because the distinction ceases to exist in the worldview that he's proffering about drugs. Like Adderall, being on Adderall makes you untrustworthy because you are addled. Your brain chemistry is changed by the taking of this drug, and you're going to be apt to make decisions that aren't great. And like that's the contention he's making. And of course, he exempts himself from it, as every fucking puritanical fuck in history has done.
Dead by now if I didn't have medical weed, to be honest.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I'm not for you. Yeah, that may be true. For me, I don't know if I'd go that far, but it definitely has helped me for a long time.
My understanding is that towards the end of the video, Vosh said that if you're trans and use weed to deal with dysphoria, then you deserve dysphoria. I don't know if he said those exact words. It was paraphrased to me like that, but I think that's like pretty hypocritical.
I think honestly,
Adderall to control his ADHD.
if we're to
I do too.
extrapolate from his positions now, I would say that the Vosh that we heard tonight, trans people are kind of an aesthetic for him and not much more. I think it's something that ingratiates him to broader leftism, and so that's why I think he takes up for them. I don't think he has any genuine fucking concern for trans people. If he did, it's hard for me to suss out why he'd be fucking fear mongering them so fucking hard constantly, or why shit like that comes
drum up
out of his
votes
mouth.
for the Democrats.
Yeah,
that's all it really seems to be. And look, I'm not even I know that Paul and I differ in this regard, but I'm not even completely adverse to a lesser evil sort of logic. I think there's plenty of times in life where you do have to choose the less shitty of two options, but when the options are so close in shittiness, it's like,
I mean, we don't disagree on that. I don't have any illusions of like a perfect candidate that just matches my sensibilities entirely. You're always,
like, if you had a Democrat that, I mean, I'd still probably criticize them and think they were flawed and want something stronger. But at the end of the day, like, if you had a Democrat that actually stood for fucking anything,
at this point, all I need to see is significant fucking progress. So if like just a tokenistic thing would honestly probably change my perspective on it. Like if Biden were to like deschedule marijuana, I'd have a harder time making an argument that we, are pretty much the same as Trump, because I don't think Trump is ever going to do that. Or if Biden were to fight and win an increase in the cost of living in the form of a minimum wage, or or supported police reform, or just any one of the things.
A public option.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about all of this at once.
Like, give us fucking something.
I'm saying if he had made significant progress towards any of the single issues that I just mentioned and nothing else, and the rest of his fucking presidency was exactly the same, I would probably be arguing for people to, especially at least people in swing states, to vote for him. Like, I'm fine with the lesser of two evils mentality, but I want a lesser evil.
Yeah, it has to actually be lesser.
And I think that it's the pretense that Biden is somehow a lesser evil when he's funding a genocide, doing nothing for the poor, doing nothing for the working class, doing nothing for the environment, is really fucking a thin argument, dude. I think at that point it's semantic. Like, I want something that is demonstrably, if only slightly, less evil than the other fucking choice, and I just don't see that now. And I'm not going to waste my time advocating for somebody that I don't feel meets that very fucking slim standard,
I mean, the moment that he just like stood by this genocide, or if you want to call it an ethnic cleansing, whatever verbiage you want to use, whatever.
It's both, by the way.
What's going on in Israel? I would say I'm comfortable using the term genocide. I'm comfortable with the term ethnic cleansing, whatever the term is. But standing idly by and just like allowing that to happen, even to like slitting your own throat to do it, which just, by the way, proves to me that there is no actual belief among Democrats that Trump is going to institute. Because if they really believed he's instituting fascism and coming for their heads, there's no fucking way they would be taking this election so fucking not seriously.
Yeah. It's just, and when a Trump presidency happens, assuming he wins, and it comes and goes and nothing of substance really changes, yeah, the problems get worse incrementally. People's fucking wallets are a little lighter incrementally, but overall it just feels like another presidency. These motherfuckers that fearmongered won't be tripping over themselves to correct the record, and I really want to learn from this going forward. I'm going to try not to hyperbolize as much and try and focus on reality. That's not going to happen. They'll learn nothing from it. The next election after Trump, the same fear mongering will be used. Trans people are dead if we don't vote Dem. Black people are dead if we don't vote Dem. And it's just fucking so demonstrably false. Dead people don't spend money. You understand? Like, you get what the driving force behind all this politicking really is? Because let me give you a fucking secret. It's not about the social issues that you care so much about. It's about what's in your fucking wallet or isn't. And it always has been, and it always will be. And that's why you can expect very little, if any, change, whether it's a Trump presidency or a Biden presidency, because the thing that must be preserved above all is the status quo. The status quo is the money printer.
I've told people to do this thought experiment so many times before. And, you know, maybe for some people there is some kind of difference. I'm not saying that all results are going to be the same. But just ask yourself the question, if you had no idea who the president was, would you have noticed a fucking difference? If somehow magically the information of just who exactly the president is was just somehow shielded from you, but all other information remained intact, would you be able to tell a fucking difference? Would you be able to tell that we're under a new management? And, you know, the answer for that...
The honest answer is no. For 99.9% of all people on the planet, the answer is no.
I just
meet the new boss, same as the old boss, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, we've not seen some sort of radical reformer sweep into office and start doing things drastically differently. Even when you look at the major differences between Trump and any other fucking president, it's mostly been in terms of rhetoric. His attempt to hold on to power is probably the most notable difference between him and anyone else.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a disaster and a shit show. And I mean, you can say like, well, it's a trial run and he's gonna do it better next time. But like, yeah, I mean, he's had time to prepare for that contingency, but so has everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't think that there's other plans at work against him? Because I guarantee you that nobody in the fucking power structure of this country is like, yeah, Trump dictatorship. That sounds good.
Yeah, nobody's going to give up their golden goose. Nobody wants to kill the status quo. Nobody wants a giant paradigm shift in politics. They want things to remain the same. They want social issues to change incrementally, and they want to keep people divided against one another and afraid. You know,
they want foreign policy to remain unchanged.
You know, I remember I know TJ remembers this, and Scotty probably does too. In Bowling for Columbine, the Manson interview that he did.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Where Manson gives this brilliant anecdote about how, you know, the powers that be, the government is run by fear and consumption. Those are the two things that they care about. They keep you pumped full of fear so that you keep buying the fucking shitty products, keep submitting yourself to the shitty job. You don't ask too many questions because you're just happy that those fears haven't come true. It's a very powerful and heady thing to fearmonger. And when I hear it coming out of people that style themselves leftists, I cringe every fucking time, because we don't need more fear mongering. Honestly, like we do it enough. Just looking at reality is fear mongering now. You know what I mean? Like reading the news. We need hope. We need action. We need young people to get fucking engaged in a real way towards substantive change in the way that we do things. And we need it 20 years ago. We need it 100 years ago, honestly, but we need it now, you know, like the big fucking exclamation point now. And we're not going to get there if we're funneling people into the same old fucking shit that our parents did. We're not going to get there when we're undermining organizations that materially help leftist causes like labor movements and shit because we got a bad vibe about them on Twitter or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's the stupidest fucking reason. The stupidest reason ever to go on a fucking anti-DSA rant is I read a fucking unhinged tweet. It's like, really? You did, huh? How hard did you have to look to find that? You know, like it's just so fucking like the online brain rot is fucking insane, dude. Yeah, like if you want to have like a conversation with me about how the DSA could do better, I'm all ears. I'm not claiming there's some like perfect organization or whatever, but they are one of the few places that leftists outside of the dim Republican paradigm can go meet other people of like mind and organize. Why would you ever poo-poo that? Because you disagree with something that a DSA, you know what it really is? It's spite. Somebody that was affiliated in the middle management or something of the DSA, and I don't even know if this is true, but the people that watch him, tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody that was affiliated with the DSA had some shit to say about Vosh one time. Called him out on something, started a drama with him, and now the DSA is total bullshit. He's willing to throw away all the labor advocacy that the DSA does, all of the community organizing that the DSA does, all the resources that the DSA provides to young leftists, because somebody with DSA next to their name was mean to him one time. Didn't like one of his takes and shat on him for it. I can almost guarantee that's where it comes from. See, one of the things about Vosh that I know that maybe other people don't know is I'm familiar with Vosh's daddy. I watched Destiny before Vosh was probably even old enough to watch that. You know, like I've been watching, and Vosh came straight out of Destiny's community, was made popular by Destiny's interactions with him in that community. And I'm telling you right now, Destiny is the exact same way. He is a real smart guy that can convolute any fucking idea to make it seem like he's making the fucking correct take. But his underlying drive is spite against people who he feels have wronged him. And that's that. A lot of people, I guess people don't know that. Vosh came straight out of the Destiny community, and he's sounding more like Destiny every day. Destiny is kind of like a hardcore, unapologetic liberal. He's a party line, Democratic, voter, advocates for Joe Biden. I mean, it's just like there was a schism between them because Vosh was way more leftist than Destiny was, and they started fighting, and they ended up kind of splitting into two communities. And now, after a couple of years of having his own community, Vosh is sounding more like Destiny every fucking day. This anti-DSA shit, straight out of the Destiny playbook. Fucking total pointless LARPing, sitting around a LARPing with the fucking DSA. What are you going to do? Go to a communist club? What kind of change is ever coming out of that, my dude? That's basically Destiny. Like and that's, like there's a definite etymology between Destiny and fucking Vosh, and Destiny is no leftist, dude. He is a fucking dyed-in-the-wool conservative liberal, capitalism enjoyer, fucking the whole nine, right? So you point this out, and that's another one of them. People will go like VDS. It's like, no, I just have watched some of the people that are involved in this, and I know. I've been watching Destiny since about 2013 or 14, I want to say, and I still watch them to this day. I'll throw them on when I'm fucking just chilling, playing a game or whatever.
I've never been able to get into the Destiny shit.
I like Destiny, but I tend to be attracted to those like fast talking, kind of high energy, spasmodic, manic kind of people.
Yeah, okay.
And he's that, I kind of like that, the autistic side of him.
I've definitely
I think he's super smart. Like the dude understands debate, and he understands logic, and he's really good at recontextualizing an argument. And I know I do this too. Everybody, I think, does, to make himself right after the fact. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you have a take, something happens that seems contrary to the take, but I'm going to sit and explain to you why my take was right all along. You know what I mean?
The take has changed in ways that you could never have imagined.
And I know this, I've just watched enough Destiny to know this about him, and knowing that Vosh came out of that community, cut from the same wool. It's a very spite-based way of dealing with one another. Very spite-based. I mean, look at how he's treated us. Like, he was all over TJ's nuts when TJ went on a couple of years ago or whatever. What a based guy. We have one disagreement about one political issue, and now he's just like, oh, those guys are just fucking doomers, emblematic of the rot. It's like, okay, all right, buddy. I'm the one that gets blamed for being nice to Vosh in public and then shit talking him behind his back. Seems like that may be going on both sides. It's a lot of spite and bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know how you argue
definitely
against the shit he said tonight. Like, I really am trying to rack my brain for how this is going to be recontextualized.
Yeah, I have no idea, because it seemed like a pretty flagrant admission.
If I had to guess, it's just going to be that you guys have misinterpreted it, that it has basically been, you've twisted the words, that you're not listening to his actual point, about the efficacy of the more radical leftist ideologies, progressive ideologies, and they have failed, and they've accomplished nothing.
Dude, this is the perfect Destiny moment. I may have shared this before, but I'm going to do it again. This is how this is Destiny in a nutshell. Destiny is a guy whose personal life is in shambles, and it's all public. He's got
Of
this
course.
super public divorce going on right now. His wife has dropped docs and dropped DMs and shown all kinds of private stuff, and his whole life is in complete and utter disarray. And I was playing a video of his probably like a month ago or something while I was playing a game. And that video was 45 minutes of him telling his young male audience how to handle relationships. And I was like, yep, this is Destiny in a fucking nutshell. My life is in
This is what you
total
guys need to
embarrassing
do.
fucking shambles. Everything private is
By the way,
public
coming up
about
next
my
segment,
life.
my horrible divorce.
Yeah.
Like, all
It'd
right.
be like a fat guy standing there going like, you want to talk about physical fitness? Let's spend about 45 minutes going over the finer points of physical fitness.
Well, that
you
just
know?
sounds like every gym teacher I ever had.
True. Good point. But yeah, this debate bro culture is toxic as fuck, dude. I think everybody knows it. Like watching these
I don't even really
fucking
see
nerds.
Vosh do many debates anymore.
Well, he's kind of like walked away from he had this like when I looked into him, I found out that like a year or two ago he did this thing like he called it the Fortress Arc, where it was basically like, I want
dude,
an echo chamber.
Dude,
Like,
the Fortress Arc was my idea.
well, he took
Go
it and
back
ran with it.
Even go back to the beginning when he first introduced it. He will say that he decided this after a conversation with me, because I talked to him and I was like, yo, Vosh, like, here's some fucking shit you might want to consider. And I guess he thought it was a good idea because he went with it. But then after using my Fortress Arc idea, he decided I'm a moron because we disagreed on electoralism. So whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the way it works in these spheres.
But I guess
You
I was
have to
smart
win.
for
You
a
have
minute
to-
there when he used my idea.
Yeah, you were smart when you were nice to him. You were
I
smart.
mean, I
when you
never
were
got
kind to
mean.
him.
I still don't think I've really been mean. I could
Well,
be. Way
you've disagreed with him openly, and you've made jokes at his expense.
You
That's
guess
enough.
that-
have done enough, TJ. You've done enough.
That's enough.
See, this is one thing I said in that video that I really stand by more than anything else, is that Vosh needs a friend that makes him laugh at how fucking ridiculous he is.
I mean, I don't know that he doesn't have that, honestly.
I could tell by how he acts that he doesn't have that,
Oh, yeah.
because he's way insanely full of himself.
Yeah. I don't know that I necessarily need that kind of friend. I'm too aware of how ridiculous I am as
No,
as
you
is.
don't need it. You're fine. You're aware of your own ridiculousness, I think, to enough.
At least most of the time. I may forget it sometimes, but it quickly comes rushing back.
Yeah. Someone like me, someone like Vosh, I think we need a little bit of like, hey, you're absurd. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. You're right. Because I can recognize the absurdity of the world, but when it comes to me, sometimes I can take myself a little too seriously.
Well, we've dressed up this concept of debating and shit, but like TJ and I were around at the beginning of all this. We know exactly what it is. It's ponage. Like, it's just ponage. Like, it's not a
Always has
debate.
been.
It's ponage. It's a ponage fight. How many of your audience can I convince that you're a loser? How well can I sell the idea that I just domed you in that video? You know what I mean? Like, it's old. It's fucking old as the hills. It's ponage. And
There's ponage, boy.
I like ponage. You know what I mean? I'm not
You just can't call
necessarily
it ponage,
adverse.
dude. You just if like you dress it up and call it something else, like, oh, it's okay, we're debating something.
Yeah, they're trying to like put this like fancy schmancy lace ruffled kind of fucking face on ponage, and it's literally like when I hear fucking Vosh arguing with some fucking right winger or whatever, I just hear Captain O'Awesome revealing the sex tape. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ponage.
taste my pee. Hot case.
When you kiss your girlfriend's lips, my cock was there.
You probably went back and watched that like a year or two ago. Like, because I was discussing with someone like, "What's the ultimate ownage?" I'm like, "Oh wait, I know, I know what it is."
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, it doesn't get brought up by that saga is all the pathetic videos that Case made afterwards. Like, Kevin, I'll come to a gym. You can beat the shit out of me just so I have the chance to be around.
Oh my
you."
god, dude, that video he made where he was all calm. It was so contrived. Knowing Case now, but
Oh,
at the
God,
time I was
yeah.
like, oh my god, this guy's fucking losing it. But he was just like, he was all quiet and he was like, "Hello, everybody. This is motherfucking fake singing back on the YouTubes. And, yep, been having a little bit of a rough time, but really wanted to make this real quick video, just real direct to Kevin, also known as Captain O Awesome. I just want to let you know, Kevin, that you humiliated my girlfriend. And you will, if I ever see you, I will fucking murder you. It's like, okay, dude.
I remember he brought up an example of like, look, I'll meet you at a gym. You can have all your buddies there. You can kick the shit out of me, just like I have a chance of getting you, Kevin. It's like, yeah, dude, I'm sure he's really eager to fucking meet you. When you say you're gonna fucking kill him.
That dude's a fucking wackadoodle, bro.
Flashing the gun around you. Oh my god, yeah. That dude was fucking nuts.
There he came to me way back in the day. This is well before I started doing like streaming and shit. Like back in the early days. He came to me one time. He was like, would you get on Skype with me? I was like, all right, whatever. I got on Skype with him. And his whole objective was to like turn me against TJ.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, bro, like I just watched videos, man. I don't care. Like you're barking up the wrong tree here, my guy. I don't care. It's like, oh, TJ's a scam artist, and TJ's this, and TJ's. It was, I don't know. You guys must have had a fucking falling out or some shit.
Oh god, yeah.
But I just remember that being pretty fucking hilarious.
That.
So I was just like, what am I, like 10?
You know what's funny? You know what's fucking funny? The falling out has got to be the dumbest thing ever. It was that he was broke, and it was back when TJ was gonna make the amazing documentary with Cody Weber. So we went to get Cody, and he lived in like Iowa. I think he still does. So he lives in a place called Keokuk, Iowa. And Casey's like, I want to go meet Cody. Yeah, that's part of it. And TJ's like, oh, okay, I'll take you up there or whatever. Then like he asked him about it, and it was just like, I don't have any money. And TJ's like, I'm just gonna go up and get him, and you can meet him when he comes back, because he was coming down where Case lived anyways. Like, what does he need to come? Like, he doesn't have any money for a trip. Like, I don't want to just have a guy just come along. Plus, I kind of want. Obviously, I think TJ just wanted to hang out with Cody and just talk to him on a different level, not have some fucking person tagging along. And it was only going to be a couple days. We're going to bring him back down. He could see Cody. So if you want to fucking hang out with Cody, like, there's ample opportunity. So we didn't end up bringing him. It was a miserable fucking trip anyways. We drove a long ass way there, got him, like, stopped at my uncle's house in St. Louis, and it was like, oh, we can't stay here because Cody's allergic to cats. We have to drive all the way back. To make that story, like, a long story short, we just drive the fuck down. And the whole time, like, I asked him, Cody, a couple times, I'm like, do you want to meet this Case guy? Because the way he talked about him before, because TJ would hang out with Case on occasion because he moved down to where we lived. And
he made it sound like they were like super good friends.
And he was like, dude, Paul. I mean, I'm telling you, the way he made it sound was like they were fucking tight. And I didn't know Cody at all the time, so I'm like, oh, okay, they're real fucking good friends. Like, there's clearly something there.
But every time we brought up Case to Cody,
he was
Cody
like,
got really like nervous.
Well, no, I even asked him, dude, and I felt bad afterwards, actually, because I was like, do you want to go see Case now? And he's like, no. And I'm like, what? I'm like, are you guys buddies? And he was kind of dismissive of the idea. But anyways, like, what was it, like 2 or 3 days later, Case finds out that TJ went there, or TJ just tells him, and he's like, hey, let's go see a movie or something. And Case is just like, no. Like, he's like, I'm done. You're not my friend. Like, it was even literally like here's your property back, like I remember he came over like, this is TJ's. I will no longer be hanging out with TJ. And it's kind of like very dismissive of us. He's like, all right, here you go. Here's your stuff. And he kind of just like stands around like mean mugging for a minute. And we're just like, okay, well, thanks for the stuff. I think there was something of his, like, I need that back. It's like, here you go. I forget what it was, just some bullshit. Like, here you go, dude. And then he just stands around our yard for like, wasn't like 20 or 30 minutes, TJ?
Yeah.
Like, we went inside and we're just like, well, have a nice life, and like, he just like stood around doing something. I don't fucking know. I guess he was just like trying to figure out what, like, I don't know what he think was going to happen. Maybe thought we were going to fight or something to prove to prove like he was more gallant or some shit. I don't know. But then I remember TJ's like, he'll get over it. And that's when you invite him. Yes. That's like it's a couple days later. She's like, Case will be over, whatever. Cause he didn't really know him too well. He's like, he'll get over this shit. Invite him to a movie. And he told TJ's like, you live in your little brother's shadow, TJ. because he was pissed at me for something. I forget what it was. Oh, I got this is a fucking becoming a more and more of a web. TJ brought him to a fucking 4th of July party. Do you remember this, TJ?
Yeah.
And he set off fireworks near like some old people, like my mom and Steve and some other people, and they didn't approve of it. They're like, please, like, don't do this kind of stuff. And he was basically like, fuck them. So he's like, fuck these people, like, and like, so we get some, like, we all, like, it was me, TJ, and Case were going somewhere. And he's in the car, and I'm like, what happened with that shit with this fireworks? Are they just being like, you know, fuddy duds or something? It's like, and he was just saying, like, my mom's a cunt and these people are pieces of shit. And I literally just pulled the car over. And I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? I'm like, you just said my mom is a stupid fucking bitch and blah, 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 blah. Like some bullshit. I'm like, get the fuck out of my car. And she just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like, what the fuck? Because, you know, TJ's more, I guess, diplomatic. I don't know why it was. I fucking, someone says that shit to me. I guess TJ's more level headed or whatever. I'm like, I'm not going to listen to this fucking shit. If someone says that, I don't give a fuck who you are. You can just get the fuck out. I'm not going to hear your fucking shit. Like, you want to shit talk? Like, that's your business. But if I'm giving you a ride, you don't shit talk my own fucking mother in my own fucking car. Like, for no good reason. Like, maybe my mom was like crazy or something, but she's not.
You better not
So
let it get back to me either. Don't just not, you know, don't do it in my presence for sure, but you better not let me hear you're doing it either.
Yeah, so I'm like, I pulled the car over and I'm like, this is done. I'm like, I pretty much want to kick his ass out on the fucking road. I don't give a fuck how he gets home or what, but Cheetah's like, let's just take him back. And then we're driving back in just silence. And then Case is like, you know what, Scotty? As he finally gets like, I don't think you ever liked me and blah. He makes this rant about how like I've always hated him. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? The first time you said something I really disagreed with, I told you to get the fuck out of my life. I fucking can't stand you. You're a piece of shit. I never want to fucking see you again. So what's this fucking shit that I never liked you? I just told you to your face I think you're fucking garbage and I fucking can't stand you and fuck off. I never want to see your stupid ass again. If TJ wants to be your friend, that's up to him. But don't come to my fucking house ever again. I don't want to fucking see you. And that was it with that motherfucker. He's a piece of fucking shit is what he fucking is. But I thought it was funny that he said he was you know, the shadow thing, because that's the fucking Brett Keith thing that he said about me. That's what he fucking said to TJ, that he was somehow in my shadow and it had nothing to do with me. I was just like, we're not bringing a fucking bum on this trip. That was it. That's how TJ supposedly lives in my shadow. I was like, we're not bringing a guy that has no money. And honestly, it would have been horrible if we had brought it. Can you imagine if we actually had brought Case, TJ? How fucking awkward that would have been. It's like, hey, Cody, here's Case. And Cody would be like, what the fuck?
Which, I mean, we later found out that there's a reason why Cody did not want to meet Case in the first place. Because fucking Case had like aggressively hit on him and shit in conversation.
Oh, he was like,
even though it was unwelcome.
He asked basically Cody to like Case's girlfriend at the time, the one that Captain Awesome fucked. He wanted him to film a porno of those two, and he's like, I mean, I guess I'd be down to do it. And he's like, you know, even better if like you were there too. And he's like, okay. He's like, you mean filming? He's like, no, like participating and like
you have a big cock? My ass.
It was that he had a big cock and he bet Cody had a big cock. He's like Cody, I have a big ass fucking cock. Do you have a big cock and stuff? And like,
well, he wanted Cody to suck his dick.
Yeah, he wanted Cody to suck his dick. He wanted them to fuck. He wanted Cody to fuck his girlfriend. Like he wanted like the whole fucking 9 yards. Which I mean, whatever. I mean, that's if he's what he's into. I don't
fine.
give a fuck.
I mean, you know, like. You know,
but Cody was like, I'm not
he
interested.
wouldn't take no for an answer on it, basically.
Yeah, Cody was like, I'm not interested in that, dude. I have no interest in you like that. I'm just not. No. And it just kept going on and on and on. He said like, so like when by the time Cody got brought down there, he was like, it was like, he's thinking this guy's gonna like fucking corner him alone and be like, this is happening. Like he thinks literally, like he told me at the time he had a credible fear the Case was gonna pull his dick out and be like, you know, if they got alone together, like suck my dick. So it was horrible. It was fucking
it's not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah, right. Because I mean,
funny because it's fake Sagan that I'm imagining doing it.
Well, it never happened because like their interaction ended up being like Case was in our yard and was like, "What's up, Cody?" Cody's like, "Nothing." He's like, "Can I go inside now?" Basically, like Cody basically talked to him for like a couple minutes. Is like, "I'm busy." It had nothing to fucking do with the guy. Like he just like basically was like, "Oh yeah, okay, it's nice to meet you." You know. And dude, I don't blame him because Case was looking at him like a fucking Snickers bar, dude. I'm not even joking. Like he came over there in these baggy pants and a fucking loose Hawaiian shirt with these stupid fucking gas station sunglasses, didn't fit his face and just didn't look good on him at all, and was just ogling this dude like he's the most beautiful thing he'd ever fucking seen in his life. So it was legit. Like I saw the fucking love and lust in his eyes for Cody.
Dude, the lure of Cody Weber's pussy, dude.
It was strong for
guess
that
so.
motherfucker, dude. It was strong.
Who didn't want to booty blast Cody Weber, though, honestly?
Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, Cody had said a few times that he was like bi or something, but I'm pretty sure he was 100% straight.
Yeah, Cody.
I never saw him express.
I
Even
saw
like the
anytime
tiniest glimmer of interest in any male whatsoever.
As long as I knew him, he was always chasing unavailable women, basically. Like that was his thing. Like if a woman was completely unavailable and not a good fit for him, he would just fall head over heels.
Yeah, Cody was always pining for some fucking bitch that he couldn't have.
Yeah, that was basically his personality as far as that's concerned. But it was never once where like that guy's hot or even implied it for a fucking millisecond.
Some people thrive on that shit, dude. They thrive on that unrequited love shit.
Well, he was definitely one of those.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. Like trying to drag you into his like relationship shit, and it's like, dude, I have no interest in your relationship problems. Like that's
always. I don't even remember who they all were, but he was always pining for some girl.
Oh my god, trying to get us to drive. Like I remember it was like a blizzard, and he's like, "Can you drive me to Keokuk so I can meet?" It's like, no. Why the fuck?
It wasn't even a girl. It wasn't even to meet a girl. It was like so he could just like see the girl he had a crush on at some kind of a like party or something. And it's like she's not fucking interested in you. You've tried. You've been pining for this bitch forever. She's not gonna fucking suck your dick. She's not gonna do anything with you. She's already written you off.
Yeah, dude, you live in a small fucking Midwestern town with nothing going on. If you were an option that made sense, she'd be sucking your dick right now. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I just don't understand that shit.
I don't know, dude.
Like,
I mean, I
bitch-
guess it's
If
just
a bitch ain't interested, she ain't fucking interested. Just go on with your fucking life. Quit being a little pussy.
There's some guys that are just like that, dude. Like, well, if they get enough, like, because I mean, obviously, if there's no interest, then that's not even gonna happen. But it's like string this guy along. You know what I mean? Like, he's like maybe like a backup of a backup or a backup dude.
He wasn't
That's
even
like-
strung along. It was like you gave if he got even a look from a girl he was like crushing on, that was like enough to sustain him for months.
No, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
That's
I don't get it personally.
I demand more concrete action.
Yeah, I gotta dim my wig, you know.
Yeah, as I'm saying, like, prove thy love for me. You know what I mean? You got to do something more than that. If you have nothing to offer beyond that, you know, like I'm not saying it's the only thing that matters, but I mean, look, we can't get down. You know,
I take a girl out for a couple weeks, some nice dinners and whatnot. You know what's happening next.
I mean, if it ain't happening, I mean,
You know what's happening next.
you guys are gonna play some board games.
Putting on my diving helmet, going down into the Marianas Trench. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
No, I don't.
I'm going deep.
Deep.
Fuck. How long inches is Case's penis? I don't know. You gotta fucking ask him.
Who knows? I never saw it.
He's got a little button dick, dude.
I was
Bragging
always
about his
talking
big
about big
Johnson.
it was, but I never saw it, so I don't know.
You never fucking whipped it out.
Nope, never saw it.
Never saw the wick.
Nope.
I'm sure you're very sad that didn't happen. Extremely desolated.
Yep.
She's like, yeah.
I'm just done.
You're
I don't
fucking done. You're fucking TJ's just
I don't
so
want to
done.
talk no more. I just want to fucking be done with the show. But
No, you're not done, TJ.
there's 10 minutes left and some change, so whatever.
You're not fucking done, dude. You're not done, TJ. You're not done.
You have a button dick, Abby Danger.
I have a button cock. Do
Oh,
you?
well. What can you do? You know.
I mean, if you
better
got a
make
little
sure the tongue
button,
game good, then that's all I know.
I don't know. I mean, you
probably had a big one.
You can work a fucking button cock, dude. All right.
There's always
there are
something you can do.
things. There are ways, dude. There are techniques. Trust me, I know.
There are things you can do.
Paul's like, I know from experience.
Oh. I've never seen the value in lying about a dick because anybody I would care enough to lie to, I want them to see it eventually, and then I have to
I
account.
know,
you
right?
know?
Yeah, it's like why? I mean, like if
That's the
anything,
dilemma.
if anything for me, I'm like, okay, so like, you know, you do things to like prepare them. for,
I
like-
really have never done that either. I've just kind of thrown it out there and all its little,
This
This is what it is.
yeah, it's all its glory. I just throw it out there, and in my defense, I've never had anybody fucking reject it. I've never
I
had
feel the
anybody
need to
go like,
prepare.
"Ooh, I ain't sucking on that little fucking tiny thing."
He has like a
there.
tutorial. So you're about to have sex with TJ.
Like,
A few things to
so
know.
like if you're expected, I mean, because especially since I'm a big dude, I'm like,
One,
so if
TJ
you're
is not
expecting my
proportional.
dick to be like proportionate to like how big my body is.
I mean, out in the
No.
world, I'm a big dude too. I don't feel that fucking impetus, bro. Fuck
Yeah, I
that
do.
shit.
Maybe just my
Fuck that shit.
insecurity fucking taking the wheel.
Dude,
or
I would
whatever.
because like I can't even think about a situation where it would be congruous going the other way. Like if I was like, "Oh, your pussy flaps are weird," or what, I would never. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. Like I love all vaginas and all dicks. Equally. They all have a place in the circle of life.
Yeah.
I would never do that. I would never think it was like kosher to do that. So fuck it.
In the circle of genitals.
Like if you got a problem with
Some
my
big,
dick,
some small.
don't put it in your mouth. I don't care. Just fucking let me know. That's all I care
One
about.
about
Penis too
today.
small. Your penis too small, senor. Sorry.
Beep it too small. Beep it
So
too
TJ, you do
small.
like-
it would be mean as
You do
fuck.
like the
it would be like
fucking
if you
like
it would be like if you got with a chick and you were like, "Ooh, why is one of your titties like noticeably larger than the other? That's fucking weird," Like, fuck you, bitch.
weird, bitch.
Get out of my
Weird.
bed if you don't like my little button dick, all right? Or get down and start sucking it. Less talky.
Less talking, more sucking.
TJ's like,
bitch.
you're getting on a flight, and it's all like, there's important tips to remember about TJ. Unfortunately, TJ has a small penis. He is sensitive about this. Things you need to do. It's like, TJ, you don't need to do that, dude. You don't need to do it, man. You see what you gotta do, TJ. Just turn the lights off and just say, I'm sensitive. I'm a sensitive man.
Dude, it does not suck having a tiny weenie, dude. It really does not.
Oh Lord, and now penis so small. Oh Lord, and now
Dude,
penis
Moby,
so
Moby needs to
small.
put that one out. Don't nobody know my penis so small. Oh.
Barely fucking see it there above my ball.
It's all right, dude.
All right, this cover has to be made.
It's all right, dude. It works fine. It gets the job done.
Depends on the job.
Just just straightens it. Oh, never mind. I was gonna be mean. I was like, you know what? After tonight, I can't do it. After all the bullshit we've been through, fellas, I'll just say, fuck it, whatever. If you're good at sex, size doesn't matter or won't matter.
That's
Okay.
that's always been my trick, dude. That's always been my trick.
That's the trick. It's all right. Yeah, it's
I'm all right at what I'm all right at it. I got
Well,
the
ain't
mechanics
nobody asked me
down.
for a refund yet.
Oh. Where's Emperor Ghidorah's fine ass at? Dude, what, do you honestly think that we don't know that you're also Emperor Ghidorah? Like, is
You
that
gotta
something?
be.
Is that something that you think that we don't know, Spinosaurus? Is that why you're trying this? Like, where's Emperor? Are you trying to drum up fucking attention for your other alt?
Hey guys, how about Emperor Ghidorah? I haven't heard from him in a while.
Just stop, dude. You're seen. All right, Spinosaurus. You're seen. I know you. I'm a troll from the old school. I know all the tricks. I know all the fucking subversive maneuvers. All right, dude.
Anyone seen that Emperor Ghidorah around? I sure do miss him. Well,
I
that makes
sure
one of
do
us.
miss that insightful and sexy Emperor Ghidorah character that used to come around. I wonder where he might be.
Hope he shows up real soon.
these days?
Yeah, dude, I see you. I go along with trolling quite a bit because I find it more fun to treat it that way than to just ignore it. But I'm a bloodhound for trolls, dude. I know what's up. I know what you're doing because I've done it all. You talk about gaslighting somebody, my friend. Let me tell you something, dude. I have gaslit people to the point of murder. To the point where they were literally trying to track me down to strangle me to death. Okay. I can gaslight. I can oh dude, one of my favorite ones is like concern trolling. Concern trolling is fun because you get to pretend like you're the good guy. You're like,
Really
oh
worried about
man,
him.
anybody else worried about how fat Paul is? And the body of the text is like, I don't know, guys. I don't mean to be mean, but seems like Paul just doesn't take his health seriously. You know what I mean? It's like, you fucking.
I'm worried about him, man.
And they think they're being, each one of them, they think they're Voltaire when they're doing it too. Like, it's like, no, dude, we see it.
That's one of the oldest tricks in the book. Is I'm your friend.
Yeah,
I care about you deeply. So every criticism I make is just me not being mean. It's concern about you. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the fucking oldest ways to really just stick it to someone. And then if you say anything, what? Me?
Oh my God. Are you really going to try and fucking gloss this over by going and getting on fucking alt and then jumping back on main, dude? So now,
right.
spectacularly, here's Ghidorah. You know what I mean? You're just a fucking,
Magical.
you're
In
transparent,
about
bro.
the amount of time it would take for me to log out of one account and into the other, here I am.
Yeah, I know. I didn't immediately answer, but just took just enough time to switch my account over.
Ember, Ghidorah, and Spino post at the same time then.
Don't hate. I'm not hating. I'm just letting you
if
know
it's
I
so
see
easy.
you, dude. I see you.
Yep.
You want to know
Delay,
another
there you go.
secret I know about you, Ghidorah? You're not just Emperor Ghidorah and Spinosaurus. You've got several little fucking agent provocateurs, don't you? You're one of those. You're a multiple man. I pioneered your style of trolling, by the way. I want to let you know that you're talking to one of the people that should be on the Mount Rushmore of your style of trolling. Dude, on fucking forums and shit, I used to join with multiple accounts and start fights between other people by fighting with myself. Okay? Yeah, I know. Trust me. I know the fucking war cry, Ghidorah. I just wanted to let you know, dude. I think you get a little comfy in your boots sometimes. You're 100% seen, dude. You may as well have your webcam on where I'm monitoring it, bro. I can see your face by closing my eyes.
We know what you're thinking, Emperor Ghidorah.
Greasy hair, prematurely male pattern baldness. So you're hiding it with that kind of sweep over thing that dudes do when they start to lose their hair. Your skin is clear now, but pockmarks, you had problems with it as a kid. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just letting you know. I can see you. I know you. Greasy hair. Probably about shoulder length, greasy hair. Like wispy mustache, but just because you don't like shaving. Wispy mustache for sure. I see you, dude. I'm looking right at you.
I think this is not my lies, Paul. He has a full head of hair and is definitely not the same person.
That's right. And look at you two-tabbing now, too. Maybe if I post real close together, they'll... It's like, no. No, we know that that's possible.
High as fuck. Nice try. Nice. He does try, does he not?
Yeah, that's what you guys don't know is that Ghidorah and Spinosaurus are just alts of mine.
Oh, shit. What?
Just part of a deep cover trolling operation that I'm doing. We're talking like 6 layers deep Inception trolling, right?
Dude, Paul is fucking trolling himself in the chat while arguing. Oh, what the fuck, dude?
Well, I'm trolling another dude who I'm hoping will go on to troll another dude who then will troll me. I'm going through all of that just to troll myself.
Let me ask you this.
That's deep.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
If you was a betting man, which I'm not because I've given up gambling, but if you was a betting man, and you had to put not all your money, but you had to put half your fucking money, half of whatever you got on who's going to die first between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, where would you put your money?
Oh, man.
Dude, before tonight, I would have said Biden, no hesitation. But after looking at Trump, like we did that close-up look at Trump and his face and his eyes and stuff, I don't think he's doing well, dude.
He doesn't look good.
I think he's
So
ill. I honestly think that there's some fucking shit going on with Trump.
Biden is 3 years older than Trump.
Yeah, I mean that statistically is meaningless.
No, every year it does go up. I mean, if you have
Sure, but I mean, like, you know, like with the law of averages and shit, it's a very small difference, really. 3 years.
Let's see. I mean, Joe Biden's more likely to have more health issues at that age. He has some joint stuff.
Definitely suffering some cognitive shit for sure.
Yeah, cognitive stuff. I mean, Trump is too. I mean, Trump
some
is more
speech problems, some
Trump's in
fucking
worse
memory
health.
loss.
I mean, he's fatter for sure. I mean, he's
Trump does look a little bloated. He's sweaty and kind of wet and shiny. His eyes did not look good in that picture you found.
I would say if I had to bet, I would bet Trump would go first.
Yeah, I got the same. I mean, just looking at like Biden isn't cramming down fucking quarter pounders all day, and Trump is
definitely not.
And I mean, just knowing that makes Trump the best guess in my book.
I mean, yeah, Biden is just in better health.
Biden's
more active. I mean, Biden is doing more stuff. I mean, Trump is just fucking. Trump's major thing is campaigning and golfing.
Trump looked really bad at that.
Another thing too is that, like at the end of the day, Trump seems like there's a weight upon his shoulders, and Biden, even though there probably should be a weight on his shoulders, really seems like he's almost doesn't have a care in the fucking world.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He just seems like he's just like, I think he's maybe just too gone to even give a shit. I think maybe his senility and his fucking dementia might be playing to his advantage on this one.
I mean, also he's the president. He probably knows things we don't know. He's like, you know what? I've got no reason to worry. I'm good. Biden is totally aloof. Yeah, I think he is too. I mean, like, unless he tries to pretend he's not.
I think Biden, I think he's doing that old man thing where he's convinced himself that it's still like he's still the same Biden as he was in like 1975 or whatever.
Right.
I'm not going to listen to these fuddy-duddies. I ain't slowing down, Jack. I'm full steam ahead. But he has no like frame of reference. He doesn't see that he's turned into like just a doddering old man that has to be led around and handheld
right
everywhere he goes.
Joe.
Neither of them is here fully. So you can't really use that. I mean, you cannot. I love it when I love that part of this. The fact that both sides of the political aisle are pointing at each other. It's the Spider-Man meme again. I keep having to reference it because I feel like so much of that is going on right now. The Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme is like, that's what's going on in the world. But yeah, I'd have to say Trump. After looking at him tonight, he looked sweaty. He looked defeated. He looked hollow. He looked haunted. That makeup job was one of the worst I've seen on him. It was shades too dark. I mean,
dude, just the nunt, dude.
The nunt was looking real flabby and sad today.
I mean, it was looking deeper than ever.
It did, yeah. But I mean, it looked flabbier too. It was floppier, and I feel like the inner labia were hanging out more. I don't know.
That nunt. I mean, back when we first started talking about it, it wasn't so prominent. That
it was there.
Yeah, but like it didn't. You know how I know it's gotten way worse? Because it didn't used to fucking disturb me.
Yeah, it didn't used to have like the internal.
Uncomfortable.
It used to just be like, like an innie pussy, basically. And now it's got like it's bloomed open and it's got all the internals too. Like it's gotten really.
Yeah, there's too much going on there. I don't like it.
It's real disturbing.
It makes me. I don't even get the collarbone stuff as much as I used to, but that fucking gives it to me.
Yeah,
it makes me feel tingly in ways I don't want to.
How much to eat it out? And you got to do your best job too. You can't fucking cheap out and just give it a couple licks and collect your payment.
I would have to like dissociate.
I know, but like, how much money would it take to dissociate you from eating the nut?
I mean, the fact that he's like, what?
You've got to perform none.
Ancient art called Nuntalingus. This is the only way to save yourself and your friends, TJ.
I mean, I'd do it for
Ugh.
free just because it's a fucking crazy story.
Bullshit, dude. If they're offering money.
You
They're
could
like,
make money off of that just fucking writing
you
like I
could, but
licked
why
the
not?
nut, you know?
Why not do that and get a cool mill out of it or something?
Sure.
you know?
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I'll take some money, but like at the end of the day, I'd probably do it just for the fucking the insane like.
you have to lick his nlit, dude.
You'd get famous though, you know. You'd get fucking world famous for that.
That's
You
right,
gotta
TJ.
suck his nlit.
No,
You gotta nibble the
You're gonna be a
nlit, dude.
star, TJ. You're gonna be a
You gotta
star.
nibble the nlitterous.
That's
Look,
gross.
TJ, you're gonna be a big
gross.
star.
All right, it's time to end the show. Goodbye.
Goodbye.